Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
To some, this is just a ball. To Iowa Farm Bureau, it's much more. It's opportunity for small-town kids to make it big. It's our youth, our community leaders, our past, our future. It's hopes and dreams, passion and pride. To Iowa Farm Bureau, this is the reason we work so hard. This is Iowa. Iowa Farm Bureau. People, progress, and pride.
Good evening and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, the home of the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Jamie Steyer, I'm Emery Songer, and in just a moment, we're going to have the matchup between Dallas and Grimes and Bondurant-Farrar here on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company. But first, Jamie, let's go ahead and talk about how these two teams found their way to the state tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple teams that have a few losses on the season, but overall been extremely consistent. Dallas Center Grimes, of course, losing only to Ballard and Indianola over the course of the season. Had a really big win over Creston to punch their ticket here, 50-28. And then when you're looking at Bondurant-Farrar, got a couple losses, but I mean, they're two extremely talented teams. Now, you lose to Ballard a couple times, who we saw earlier today, Gilbert, Boone, North Polk. These are teams that those are certainly far from bad losses. And then when you look at the really close win that they had over Grinnell to get here, 47-42, I tell you what, coming off a close win, that gives you some confidence. So really excited to see these two teams face off.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This is the final quarterfinal in Class 4A. Winner will take on aforementioned Ballard, who just got themselves a win as they were able to defeat Harlan in their quarterfinal matchup just a few moments ago. We'll come back and we'll have the starting lineups and plenty more on the pregame show. It's about 6.5 minutes away from the starting lineups right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Welcome back. Here we are. We are live from Wells Fargo Arena. Emery Songer along with Jamie Steyer and our entire crew getting ready for the final quarterfinal matchup in Class 4A between Bondurant-Farrar, the 6 seed, taking on the number 3 seed, Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs, two teams that are in Central Iowa. And it's time now for our Kruger Seeds, Seeds for Success. And let's go ahead and start with the Blue Jays for Bondurant Farrar, Jamie.
Well, Bondurant Farrar, they absolutely have to take care of the ball. They're averaging around 15 turnovers a game, which happens, of course, if you're pushing the pace when you're really, putting in that effort. But against a team like Dallas Center Grimes, you're just not going to be able to turn the ball over that frequently and have success. The other thing that they've got to do is they've got to make the extra pass. They're in a unique situation where they've got 3 of their starters averaging double digits, and the next 2 after are not far behind. So they've got plenty of players able to score. So make that extra pass and get your teammate open.
Yeah, how about for the Mustangs from DCG?
Well, Dallas Center Grimes is in a situation where they're going to have some mismatches on the offensive end. They've got a little bit of height to them in their starting lineup. They've got some really terrific athletes. So whether that be getting the ball inside or being able to drive on someone maybe a little slower than you, got to be able to use those mismatches. The other thing they've got going for them is bench scoring. They've got Avery Korshing averaging 5 points a game off the bench and Kylie Miracle averaging 6 points a game off the bench. And again, not extremely common, especially when you're looking at that 4A level to have that kind of scoring coming off the bench. So got to be able to take advantage of that. Going to be a little bit more fatigued potentially with that longer court. So take advantage of having those subs who can come in and score.
Yeah, and especially considering the fact that we have seen some teams really struggle offensively here. Anytime that you can find offense in your 6th, 7th, 8th player on the bench, definitely makes things a little bit easier if somebody's not having an on night shooting the basketball. Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We'll take our final break before the tip-off, and when we come back, we'll have the introductions and starting lineups for this tournament matchup between Bondurant Farrar and Dallas Center Grimes. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices. Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Welcome back, fans. The Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals, both financially and educationally. That's why they are honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. Dallas Center Grimes and Bondurant Farrar, a couple of local teams here from Central Iowa. Short trips for both of them. They're heading back to their benches, and we'll get set for the introductions and the starting lineups. The final of the 4 quarterfinals in Class 4A. Winner will take on number 2 seed Ballard Thursday at 8 p.m. and still have their dreams of winning a state championship alive. But for the time being, let's go ahead and head down to the floor for the opening introductions and the starting lineups. Let's go courtside to our public address announcer, Joe Hammond.
Fans, welcome to tonight's 2021 Girls State Basketball quarterfinal matchup featuring the Bondurant Farrar Blue Jays and the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Because once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Bondurant Farrar High School and Dallas Center Grimes High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Jada Newberg, a member of the IGH-SAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Bondurant Farrar High School, say hello to Kathy and Ben Fuller. And from Dallas Center Grimes High School, Pat O'Brien.
The definition of sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness, respect, and generosity towards the opposing team and officials.
Things you say and do are a direct reflection of your school and community. Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
First the non-starters for the Bondurant Farrar Blue Jays. Number 3, Mia Bell. Number 10, Hannah Green. Number 13, Casey Waterhouse. Number 14, Peyton Meyer. Number 23, Brenna Peterson. Number 24, Lauren Osborne. Number 32, Annika Dearden. Number 35, Rebecca Fuller. Number 41, Chesney Steenhook. And number 55, Malai Peffer. The assistant coaches for Bondurant Farrar are Brooke Lust, Danny Steenhook, and Ariel Olson. And now let's meet the non-starters for the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. Number 2, Olivia Voline. Number 4, Avery Korshing. Number 10, Samantha York. Number 20, Kylie Miracle. Number 24, Finley Fitzgerald. Number 30, Alexa Henricks. Number 40, Jill Jansen. Number 42, Elle Nelson. And number 44, Josie Lampe. The assistant coaches for Dallas Center Grimes are Tyler Castantine, Rich Kloster, Judy Nisley, and Jalen Raymond. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's starting lineups? For Bondurant Farrar, a 5'5", junior number 2, Mia Miller. And for Dallas Center Grimes, a 5'9", freshman number 12, Vanessa Bickford. For Bondurant Farrar, a 5'6", senior number 5, Riley Gilroy. And for Dallas Center Grimes, a 5'8", senior number 22, Julia Rice. For Bondurant Farrar, a 5'10 junior, number 20, Kate Lappy. And for Dallas Center Grimes, a 5'11 senior, number 32, Lexi Protzman. For Bondurant Farrar, a 5'10 senior, number 30, Katie Fogarty. And for Dallas Center Grimes, a 5'8 junior, number 34, Ella Lampe. For Bondurant Farrar, a 5'11 senior, number 33, Avery Freed. And for Dallas Center Grimes, a 5'11 sophomore, number 50, Emma Miner. The head coach for Bondurant Farrar is Ben Anderson, and the head coach for Dallas Center Grimes is Adam Jones.
All right, we're getting set for action here as the officiating crew, Raleigh Weavers, Ray Wilden Jr., and Jeff Horst, finish the introductions. Bondurant Farrar is the black uniforms trimmed in blue and white. And for Dallas Center Grimes, will be in the white uniforms trimmed in red. Before we get going, we'd like to once again thank the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGH SAU and the Iowa Girl. Could not be more local. This arena, of course, in Polk County. Bondurant Farrar to the east, still in Polk County. Dallas Center Grimes just to the west and a little bit north in Dallas County.
Oh.
And we have a false start.
Couldn't quite get their hands on the tip, just dropped right in between them.
They're going to chill out for a second.
And reset the clock. Give that second right back. I'll get your heart pumping.
Everybody gets a chance to smile before we actually get going here. And the tip is loose and eventually gathered by DCG, the Mustangs. It is Julia Rice. I'm going to get into a motion offense quickly. Adam Jones, successful coach, Little Hawkeye Conference, very good Class 4A team. Here's a baseline look, but losing a handle on the dribble was Ella Lampe, and that'll give it right back to the Blue Jays to get things going for them.
I think we can see already, though, what DCG is going to be looking to do, and that's to really penetrate aggressively.
And they're going to come out with that full court press. It's a patented move that they do most of the time. Getting into the front court with some good fancy dribbling is Mia Miller. Miller tries to shed her defender, but loses the ball, and it will be out of bounds. Or 5 seconds, you're right. Yeah.
Yep, closely guarded, and that's tough. I mean, most people can't really stay with the offensive player long enough to get that 5-second call there, but very clearly the right call.
Yeah, Ella Lampe doing a great job on the ball. Here's a penetration, a little bit strong, kind of out of control that time was Emma Miner, the sophomore up front. Lady Jays have it. Quick leak out underneath the rim. A good defense, transition defense by DCG, hustling back, and then pass at the feet of Katie Fogarty. Ended up hitting her in the leg and trickling out of bounds. And both teams just a little bit out of whack to get us started here.
Yeah, feels like Bondurant Farrar got moving a little bit faster than they maybe would have preferred just because of the pace DCG setting.
Vanessa Bickford comes up short off the glass. Good offensive rebound, but missing. That time is Protzman, and the rebound cleared eventually by the Blue Jays. So a couple of nice looks, but no points for the Mustangs. Here's Miller. Over to the left side. Riley Gilroy, one of the seniors, picks up her dribble, kicks it to the top. Avery Freed to the top of the key. High-low pass, finds Fogarty. A little fader. That's strong. Rebound taken by Bickford. Just a freshman, but she's got all the tools. Quickly ahead to Miner. She's going to settle it down with a couple of dribbles. She'll get it right back from Lampe. Settle it down up top to Bickford. Bickford averaging 7 rebounds on top of her impressive points total, especially for a freshman. Over to the top, catch and shoot 3. Money, Julia Reitz.
That's a heck of a way to start after nearly 2 minutes scoreless in the game, but man, what a great in-rhythm shot. And again, DCG just getting the ball rotated and opening up a great look there for Reitz.
Yeah, and she's 36% three-point shooter, so certainly can light it up from downtown. 3-0 the score in the very early going here. Winner plays Ballard in the semifinals Thursday at 8. Here's a kick out. Nice rotation. Open look. 3-ball. Just a little bit short from Freed. Weak side rebound will be a held ball, and it will stay down here with the Jays.
You really can't get a much better look there. Once you get the trap on the opposite side, just swing around to the other end. A really good look there, and great effort to stay in there on the offensive boards.
Freed is the most prolific three-point shooter that Bondurant Farrar has, shooting about 33%, but made 36 of them on the season as a traveling violation here as Miller tried to pick up the ball in the drive.
Looked like she was ready to just kind of pitch it inside, had to rethink it for a second, and took that extra step in the meantime. But really both teams trying to push the pace here with that little bit of a softer full-court press by Bondurant Farrar.
Don't want to get beat on that press again. Bickford with it. Bickford averaging 7 points, 4.5 rebounds per game. A little bit of youth injected into this DCG squad with plenty of that experience. Up at the top, Bickford surveys, now put it on the deck and get it over to Protzman, one of the seniors. Over to the left side. Lampy, she'll drive, pick it up, go to the top. Minor swings it over to Bickford. Long, slow, methodical possession here from the Mustangs. Here's a drive. Bickford kicks it out. Lampy wide open in the corner. 3-shot. Boom!
And again, there's just that patience. They're not taking an okay shot. They're not taking a mediocre shot. They're taking the really, really good shot when it's available, however long it may take.
That is a warm-up jumper there for Ella Lampy. She is a 31% three-point shooter as well. Got to respect her out there, and she got a clean look and buried it from the corner, makes it 6-0. Little handoff. Miller goes into the corner. Freed, guarded closely by Bickford. We'll rotate it back to the top. 1-3-1 zone look here from DCG. Bondurant Farrar trying to settle in with it. Rotation on that. Back to the top. Nia Miller down low. Poked out by Fogarty, and now she's going to get it back to Freed at the top. Both teams really taking some time to figure each other out defensively. 3 from the right wing, buried by Caitlin Lappy. That's just her third made 3 of the season, but she's only attempted 4 of them.
I was going to say, it looks like she's knocking them down every possession. That was a really smooth-looking shot.
That is only their 4th attempt, but she's made 3 of them. It's almost like, hey, if you're feeling good out there, might as well let her rip.
Yeah, she only takes the good ones. That's not a bad strategy.
We'll see if they dare her to shoot any more after she makes her first attempt of the game. 3:20 to go. That ball's lost out of bounds. It'll go to BF.
And that's a big defensive possession because with how much time is being taken on offensive possessions, really for both teams, if you can put even that extra hint of pressure, get the turnover, that's really big.
A couple of the key bench pieces into the game for Dallas Center Grimes, Avery Korching and Finley Fitzgerald. Those substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Collecting that on a loose ball is Fogarty. Gets it over to the left side. 3! Swished home by Riley Gilroy.
I'm starting to wonder if we're ever going to see a 2-point shot.
Both teams knocking down the open looks from outside as that reach-in foul by Gilroy got a little too excited, and that'll be her first and the first on either team.
Hey, you know what? At this point, you've gone this far into the quarter without ever fouling. Get a little bit aggressive, see what they're going to call, be smart after that. But, put a little bit of extra pressure on them. That's really not a bad foul at all.
Inbound pass comes to Bickford. Mustangs with the ball. Outside, Korching. Guarded closely by Gilroy. Over to Minor. Minor wants to dribble drive. Passes wide, might have been tipped. It was collected anywho by Korching. Korching, little inside-out dribble, goes all the way. Has it knocked away on the help defense by Lappy. And they're going to give it back to Bondurant Farrar on the deflection. A little conversation.
Very sure, yeah.
Made sure that they made the right call. It's impossible to tell from where we're sitting now.
Yeah, but must have just been kind of the defensive tip and then the offensive tip maybe trying to gather it back in. But either way, huge defensive possession and pushing the pace on offense.
This one knocked out of bounds on a good hustle play by the sophomore Fitzgerald. First substitution into the game for the Blue Jays. It'll be Casey Waterhouse, a senior. She'll come and replace Freed for now. Freed, 1 of 3. Blue Jays averaging double figures points per game this season. These two teams, despite their close proximity, did not see each other in the regular season. At the top, Miller fires. That one is short. Long rebound out to Corshing. She wants to push. She finds Bickford. Bickford, a couple of steps, runs over Gilroy, and there's her second foul. She tried to slide in front of the driving Bickford. Picks up the foul. It'll be 2 shots, and more importantly, her second foul here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I almost think that she could have drawn that foul if she hadn't slipped trying to change directions. That's really what happened, is ended up kind of slipping, and on her way down ended up running into the attacking Bickford.
Vanessa Bickford, 62% free throw shooter, but does get there with some frequency. And gets there now, is into the game for the first time, or back into the game, I should say, is Lexi Protzman replacing Ella Lampe. Also, Gilroy has a seat. Freed comes in for her. 0 for 2 on the line, though, by Bickford. Freed thought about the pull-up. Now goes over to Waterhouse. Nice up and under, but too strong on the shot. Ball loose underneath, and eventually taken out of there by Bickford, who's everywhere here in the first quarter. All the way, Minor just kind of put her head down and just ran. If it wasn't going to be a charge, it would have been a turnover of some sort.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just completely out of control there, and just lost the ball, lost control of kind of her body control there. But Blue Jays been really good at getting back there in transition defense. Gave up a couple good looks to DCG, who weren't able to convert early, and since then not giving up those transition looks.
Here's Miller. Gets it into the front court, and just kind of waiting in the tall grass was Bickford that time. She saw that pass coming from a mile away, stole it, nice pass, but can't finish. Bickford, the rebound, she's too strong. Minor gets it, she's fouled, to go to the free throw line.
Looking at this matchup and looking at the way the game's been so far, both Emma Minor and Lexi Protzman have the potential for big games just because they're big presences down low. They're tall, they're long, and if they can get the right angle, they would have the potential for a lot of putbacks, especially if they continue to shoot and miss layups, or if they're continuing to shoot three-pointers where there's the long rebound. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, because really the only person that's going to compete with them on the boards that's playing right now for Bondurant Farrar would be Avery Freed.
Minor makes the first. She's 72% at the line. Substitution, end of the game. And this one, heel of the rim. Freed gets the rebound, so split at the line. 7-6 DCG the lead. We still haven't seen a 2-point basket from either side. Both teams hit 2 threes and then that Minor free throw. Here's Freed. She drives, kicks out. Here at the elbow, Lappy looking. Now puts it on the deck, backing in, goes up. Too short on the shot, gets it back, throws it back up and scores it.
That's a really, really smart play there, because as soon as you get that ball back, you got to put that tip in.
That's a travel. As a little juggle that time by Corshing as she was trying to get rid of the pass. Couldn't do so. Minor exits, replaced by Lampe. IMT Insurance substitution. 65 seconds left in the first quarter. 8-7. Bondurant Farrar the early lead. Corshing really all over Mia Miller as they get into the front court. Here on the right wing, Fogarty gets a screen, hands it off. Miller pulls it back, long 2, switch.
And got just a terrific screen and took advantage.
Yeah,
but really nice shot.
She was kind of indecisive. She was almost surprised at how open she was. Either way, she makes the bucket. Here's a nice lob attempt, but a good job reading it by Lappy. Gets the tip and the steal. Here comes Freed. Freed will settle it down, and they'll swing it back to the top. Miller being closely guarded. Going to have to lose her defender. And she'll get into the corner. Catch and shoot 3. That one missed, but the rebound pulled down. Going back up, too short on the rebound and the putback, and the rebound eventually to Lappy. Waterhouse, half-court shot on the way, nearly goes down by Lappy, but pretty entertaining, low-scoring first quarter. Bondurant Farrar 10, Dallas Center Grimes 7. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops, and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Hey Van, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000, and that means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.com. Pardon, central.edu. Let's try that one. Dallas Center Grimes with the basketball, trailing by just a 3-point margin. 10-7 is the score. Over to Corshing. And back to the top to Fitzpatrick. Both teams got some shots up, but had much more success outside the arc than inside, if you can believe that. Well, outside the arc this time. Here's a catch-and-shoot three, and that keeps up with Julia Rice getting into the act here.
And, I mean, just an inch away from getting it sent right back into her face, but like you said, just so many good looks from outside so far.
And at a certain point, each team's got to decide would they'd rather give up twos on the interior with their defense, or do they want to run the risk of leaving people open for three?
Yeah, you can't stop everything.
Here's a kick out, and here's the best three-point shooter Bondurant Farrar has, and right on cue, bang!
I mean, that's a great, I love the inside outlook for that inside player to be able to find her wide open out on the perimeter. That's a great pass.
Dallas Center Grimes with it as the teams again exchange 3-point shots. Only one made basket from inside the arc, and that was by Caitlin Lappy, the junior for Bondurant Farrar. Everything else has been either a three-pointer or from the free throw line. Outside the arc.
It's interesting because it's not like they're intentionally playing a delay offense. They're just so patient and don't force shots.
And there's no need to, as long as you don't have a shot clock to worry about, as long as you're moving the ball around.
Oh, what a move.
Yeah, it was a nice up and under by the sophomore Minor, but as we saw earlier, just a little bit unable to finish, at least early on here. She averages 11 points a game and is certainly capable. Little mid-range 2-point shot. That's a nice look by Lappy, finding the open Fogarty on the baseline. Nobody was within 15 feet of her.
And that's where you're doing, the seed to success. Make the extra pass. You get low. You think, oh, maybe a layup, but there's that chance of getting it blocked on the contest. Instead, you've got your teammate wide open in the short corner.
5:40 left here in this first half. Bondurant Farrar a 15-10 lead, defending here against the Mustangs. It's rotated to Protzman. She gets it over to Fitzpatrick, back to the top. Another patient possession. Rice drives all the way and lays it in. The first 2-point make for DCG comes with 5:20 to go here in the second quarter. And they're still only down by 3.
There hasn't been a significant amount of scoring, but they've matched each other pretty much punch for punch when they do.
Fogarty outside. We'll rotate the ball. Now looking inside. That was good anticipation by Minor, and she was able to force the ball to go out off of Lappy, which will give the ball right back to the Mustangs. Substitutions back in the game. Vanessa Bickford, the freshman, who was everywhere in that first quarter, and Ella Lampy back in. Those substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance, on how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Here is Bickford. She gets a screen. Can't lose her defender, though. Now she'll drive, lose the ball, and then eventually has it taken away by Mia Miller. Quick outlet pass finds Fogarty. DCG was able to get back successfully, and Fogarty forced a tough shot after the miss. Rebound by Protzman. Bickford again. Hustles into the front court. Gives it to Rice. Rice, little jab step, goes around. Can't get the finish. Rebound pulled down by Fogarty, and then it gives it to Mia Miller, and this time she's going to take her time coming up the floor.
And really good defensive positioning there by Caitlin Lappy to be able to prevent what could have been an offensive rebound.
Freed again? Not this time. Rebound Minor. Both teams' transition defense has been excellent as well, not allowing fast break opportunities either direction. Bickford over to Reese. Bickford will settle it down to the top. Minor gets positioned to potentially set a screen. Bickford does not want to use it. Instead, gives it over to Protzman. Bounce pass here to Lampy. Lampy tries to lob a little high-low, but it's knocked out of bounds on the attempt. There's nowhere to go for it. Entering for the first time is Chesney Steenhook, another freshman for BF.
And I do feel as if DCG maybe is following the same thought that I had, that I think that they have the advantage inside, but what Bondurant Ferrara is doing so well is getting in those passing lanes, fronting the post, not letting them get it down low to even score.
And yeah, foul. I think they're going to get Rice on that one.
Been really pretty physical here, especially in the second quarter. So looking maybe to rein that back a little bit. But I think that's why we've seen so many three-point shots, because attacking has just not been a great option with how physical it's been.
Nice little pass by Miller underneath, finding Lappy.
And there you draw the defense out, and then you get it to a girl who just doesn't have a player around her. Makes it a lot easier to make the shot.
Yeah, that one-footer is always
exactly
pretty solid range. Around the horn, Josie Lampy drives, draws contact. I'm not sure if it was on the shot or a pass. I think they're going to give her. Yeah, they're going to give her the shot. And
like she was rising up.
Be 2 shots for her, just a freshman, 50% at the line, just 2 for 4. And as we talked about, it can be difficult in this arena if you haven't shot here the first time. And as you can see, a little strong on the first attempt. I mean, you're used to seeing a wall right behind the hoops. I mean, just going from a high school gym.
The depth perception is extremely difficult.
Second one is long again, but it'll roll in. I always said you brick that one home, right? You throw it up there and it sits on the back of the rim and backboard, and then it just kind of rolls in.
I saw a game for the first time in a long time that had an outside shot just die right on the back little square there. So,
if it goes in, though,
it's great. However it goes in.
Yeah, doesn't matter how. Here is Lappy. That pass was tipped. It'll stay down here. No matter how it goes in, even if it's on a deflection of an opponent like we saw.
Exactly, like yesterday during Southeast Folk Centennial. Gosh, I was calling that game, and don't know that I have ever seen something like that.
Yeah, that game had all sorts of weird things happen toward the end of that one, but that's why we're here. Fun memories. Somehow, Freed left wide open, but probably about 3 feet deeper than her usual 3-point shot. She was about at NBA range for that one, came up a little short. Foul on the rebound. They're going to get Miller on this one.
It's interesting because I don't know that I've seen so many deep threes as I have this week so far.
You think that G League line is messing with the players?
That's kind of what I wonder sometimes, because they'll have their feet right behind them. I'm like, okay, do you really have that deep of range, or are you maybe a little thrown off?
It's like, hey, you know, there's a line here. I'll stand behind it and I'll shoot it. That was always fun for me in school.
I've seen a lot of them made, though, so can't really say much there.
Here is an attempt from that depth from Rice, but she misses that one. Rebound pulled down by Gilroy, and now Miller trying to push. And her kick out, she did not see Josie Lampy retreating on transition defense, and she's able to catch the pass as if it was intended for her. Can't finish the lane, however, and Lappy clears the rebound.
And again, we're seeing just really great transition defense.
Timeout, Bondurant Farrar, as both teams really struggling to capitalize on the fast break because both teams just have been so good at getting back defensively. It is a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. But 17-13, Bondurant Farrar, low-scoring first half, but it's not because the pace is slow necessarily. DCG has had some really long, drawn-out possessions based solely on the fact that Bondurant Farrar is not giving them any looks, but it's not because they want it to be a slow pace.
Yeah.
It's just both teams aren't shooting it very well.
It's very much not an intentional thing. You know, I would say that the last game had some intentional slowing down of the pace. Here it's really been by virtue of patience, of course, but really good defense and just not making shots. I mean, there's been so many shot attempts that just haven't gone down.
The winner of this game will play Ballard. My word of advice early on, don't fall behind against Ballard.
Right,
because they will shorten the game in a hurry on you.
There are no qualms with running out the clock on that one.
17-13. Hey, if you win the game and you're not breaking the rules, who's stopping you? Despite the fact that these arenas already have built-in shot clocks that we're not using. Anyways, there's a nice back cut by Lappy. An excellent pass by Gilroy, and that sets up the bucket. 19-13. That's the second time they've been able to find her kind of roaming behind this little zone look that DCG's been using.
I mean, especially against a larger player like Lexi Protzman down low, to be able to sneak behind her is a really nice find.
Here is Lampy. That's too strong, and the rebound pulled down by Steenhoek.
And you notice all 5 of the Lady Jays are down in the paint looking for that rebound. They're really trying not to give up any offensive rebounds.
And 5-second violation for the second time. And for the second time, it was Ella Lampy sticking man-to-man up top outside the three-point arc with a player. I think they're just losing the count.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so infrequent to be able to guard closely for that 5 seconds when you're dribbling, and so it's really easy just kind of to lose track.
Here is Dallas Center Grimes with it. Bickford. Here's Rice. Over to Minor. Minor will get a screen. Dribbles into the middle. She wants to drive. Tough shot, and she gets that one to go. She hasn't had a whole lot of luck in driving to the hoop so far in this one, but that time probably the hardest shot she's had so far, and she was able to put it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a really tough look there, but was able to convert.
Hitting the arm here on a reach attempt was Ella Lampy picking up the foul. That's just the third team foul on Dallas Center Grimes in the first half with 52 seconds to go. First foul on Ella Lampy. Inbound pass going to come into Miller. And again, she's guarded closely. This time it is by Korshing. She gets a screen. Trying to get rid of it. Lobs it to Freed at the top. Freed, one left-hand dribble, gives it to Gilroy. Gilroy on a switch, lobs it over to Miller. Miller wants to drive, little double clutch, and gets the friendly bounce.
It's a really nice slide in there and just getting right past the defender. Had someone about to step up and so pulled up just outside of, layup range.
Little miniature over-rotation, It looked like, on the zone by DCG, and that allowed a little space, and Miller took advantage. Last shot opportunity here for DCG, down by 6. Here's Bickford. Doesn't want to use a screen. Crosses up her defender. Goes all the way for the left-handed layup. 5 seconds left. Can Freed get a shot up? Lobs it ahead for Gilroy. Gilroy at the horn. That's going to be wide of the mark. But a good last possession for both teams outside of the half-court shot attempt that time. But Bondurant Farrar and Dallas Center Grimes have some things to work on. Both teams' defenses look strong. And at the half, Bondurant Farrar a 21-17 lead over Dallas Center Grimes. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll give you the halftime stats and also have a special presentation coming by the Iowa Farm Bureau coming up next. Once again, Bondurant Farrar by 4 at the half. Class 4A quarterfinals here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community.
Like family, like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Welcome back. Bondurant Farrar leading Dallas Center Grimes as the Mustang cheerleaders out there center court here at Wells Fargo Arena. The 21-17 lead. Both teams getting a little flurry at the end here, but before we get to the stats later on in the halftime show, we'd like to take a moment to thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, Tom Florian of the IGHSAU had the opportunity to sit down with Iowa Farm Bureau President Craig Hill for an interview to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes across the state.
And we'd like to welcome you into the halftime show. I'm Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's game. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here now in its 102nd edition in Des Moines, a great event for the state of Iowa. And we here at the Girls Union are so thankful for those who support us in putting on this fantastic event, none of which are more important and great as Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me now here at halftime is President of Iowa Farm Bureau, Craig Hill. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We want to tell the viewers about Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide to the Iowa Girls Union. My first question to you would be, why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest and support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union?
Oh, well, Tom, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union now for 16 years. And we're thrilled, once again, to be a part of what we consider to be the best girls' state tournament in the country. And it does showcase Iowa's elite teams, our elite players, and I would suggest our elite fans as well. But we recognize the pandemic. It has certainly made the trip to qualify for this tournament just a little bit more challenging. And, you know, I would suggest that it's also a testament to the ability of our student athletes to adapt and to persist through these tough times. So we're just so proud of these student athletes.
And you mentioned the student athletes and how they've grown and persevered through this challenging year. Talk about why Iowa Farm Bureau is so invested in supporting Iowa's youth.
Oh, well, you know, Tom, I'm a farmer, but I've always said that our kids here in Iowa are our most important crop. And that's why the Iowa Farm Bureau provides just over $250,000 in scholarships to students each and every year. More than $450,000 over the last 8 years for Iowa's teachers in terms of classroom supplies, as well as our sponsorship of 4-H and FFA and many other youth organizations, but of course the Governor's Scholar Program. And we recognize academic students academics and students in Iowa through that program.
And you mentioned recognizing and providing recognition and scholarship opportunities for youth in Iowa. But these student athletes here on the court today, they're actually taking home some other types of souvenirs, if you will, from the state tournament. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, each player will receive a signature ball, a basketball that coaches and players can sign. Everyone can keep as a keepsake and kind of a reminder of what the journey has been to get them here to the state tournament. So it's an opportunity for us to provide some good memories and keep that keepsake in front of them as they go on as being leaders in Iowa in our communities.
A cool keepsake, most definitely. Well, Craig, we are out of time here at halftime, but I want to thank you again for your support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and everything that you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
Our thanks once again to Craig Hill and the Iowa Farm Bureau for their continued support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And when we come back, we'll recap the first half stats for both teams and discuss what we might see from them as they take the court in the second half. Bondurant Farrar, a 21-17 lead over Dallas Center Grimes. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. Trying to duplicate the taste and texture, often using more than 20 ingredients. But why tamper with what Mother Nature already perfected? A more complete, high-quality protein, Iowa Raised Meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet. Nutrients that are hard to get from plant-based proteins. Best of all, the real meat on your dinner table tonight was sustainably raised with love by Iowa farm families. As much as people may try, there's just no substitute for the taste, texture, and nutrition of nature's perfect protein. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Halftime, Bondurant Farrar 21, Dallas Center Grimes 17. And as we come back, I do want to let you know it is now your opportunity for the official state tournament merchandise online. You can get your smartphones out, scan the QR code on your screen, visit ighsau.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. My style is this basketball game. It's been a fun one, a little bit physical. Not too much, though. Both teams playing very strong defense. And we did get some statistics in our hand here. Jamie, what are you looking at here?
Well, you know, what I'm seeing, first of all, is how excited I am to see more of Riley Gilroy here in the second half. She had to sit for a significant portion of the first with 2 fouls, but made her only attempt at a shot, a three-pointer. And then Caitlin Lappy obviously had just a heck of a first half, 4 or 5 from the floor, perfect 1 of 1 from three-point range. Ended up with 9 points on the first half to kind of carry them through a little bit of a tough stretch there. And then for DCG, they've had a lot of people scoring, just haven't been able to get one person to consistently fire. They've got 3 people that have hit a basket in addition to Julia Reese, who ended up with 8 on the half. So, I mean, it's just kind of wild because they've been getting good looks. They've been attacking the hoop and just haven't gotten them to fall. For as many transition shots as we saw, there were 0 fast break points in the first half. So I would anticipate either trying to pull it back, not pushing it in transition quite so much because it wasn't working, or hoping that maybe you can get past the defense if they get a little bit fatigued. But it looks like running the offense is what brought success in the first half. I would anticipate trying to go with that a little bit more.
Yeah, especially considering Bondurant Farrar's leading scorer, Caitlin Lappy, in the first half with 9 points. She averages 16 points, 11.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals and 2 blocks a game. I mean, she is one of the best players in the state, bar none. And she's the kind of player that really thrives when you do get her into like a half-court setting. I would not be surprised to see a double because a couple of times she got loose right underneath the basket. Dallas Center Grimes, as we mentioned, transitionally, defense has been good, but they allowed a few open three-point looks. 3 makes from outside for both teams. Dallas Center Grimes just 4 attempts from 3. It'll be interesting to see if they open that up a little bit more because that seems to be what's been open for both sides through the end of the first half. So if we line up for the second half, do you have a key player, you think like a player that could be the most important player on the floor in the second half?
Well, I think Riley Gilroy has a lot on her. I think she's got the potential to really do well. When she was in there, she looked really comfortable. She was making really good passes. She had good looks, and she, of course, did make her 1 attempt, but just didn't get a chance to see her out on the court very much. Only played half, only played 8 of the first 16 minutes. So I think that her being out there really changes the face of the offense for Bondurant Farrar.
And she is a very capable outside shooter, which is going to be dangerous, especially if you have to commit a second defender to Caitlin Lappy underneath.
Yeah, take a little bit of the pressure off of Lappy.
Here's the start of the second half, third quarter. Blue Jays with the basketball, wearing black uniform trimmed in blue and white. Here's Gilroy on cue, top of the key 3. That one just strong. Rebound tipped and eventually grabbed by Lexi Protzman.
But there you see, they're running a set play for her. They want to get her involved in the offense.
Look at Bickford. Big steps all the way through. She looked like Yana Santanagumbo on that play. Just a freshman. My goodness, she has been everywhere. That was a long pass to make by Gilroy, poked away by guess who? Bickford. She's going to go all the way and then steamroll Mia Miller, who was there about, a month and a half before Bickford was able to get there. Freshman just a little bit too out in front of herself, but man, Vanessa Bickford has been everywhere in this half.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where, with a little bit of extra thought, maybe you pull up and shoot right over, but I mean, incredible effort for Miller to get back there and draw that charge.
Bickford, despite being a freshman, I mean, she probably, size-wise, there's going to be a held ball, and it'll give it over to DCG as Miller has it stripped away by Ella Lampy, but you see Bickford coming at you. She is not a small girl for a freshman.
No. I mean, she's a strong, she's a long player, and it takes a little bit of courage to step in there and take that charge.
Especially at full speed. So credit to Mia Miller. I would not. I would be playing the Olay defense. Over in the corner, that one well strong, that time by Rice. And then this block by Lappy. And then another deflection. Kept alive for a moment, but stepping on the end line was Protzman. I told you, Lappy, 2 blocks a game. How about 2 blocks on a possession?
Yeah, I mean, that was extremely, extremely sound defense there. I mean, DCG keeps getting what look like good looks, but just contested.
Look at the defense by Lampy. Another steal. And Mia Miller just cannot get past her. She got called for 2 different 5-second violations trying to get around her.
Hey, you're going to have to start looking to pass the ball up the court because dribbling it up really ain't cutting it.
And so she got called for 2 5-second violations while being guarded by Lampy, and then has had it taken away the last 2 times she tried to get it up the floor as well. Lampy's got it well outside the 3-point arc. Now it goes back to the top and Minor. Over to the left corner is Rice. Rice surveying. We'll put it on the deck, working on Gilroy. And now her pass finds Lampy in the paint and draws a foul. It nearly looked like she had shuffled the feet there, but instead she'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Yeah, I like that DCG is trying to continue getting to the rim. I'm surprised that they really haven't been able to get that larger presence going with Emma Minor and Lexi Protzman. But really that all has to do with Bondurant Farrar's defense. And so, again, missing the first free throw, they're getting opportunities. They're getting good looks. They're getting to the free throw line and just haven't been able to get over that hump here.
And I'm blaming the backdrop. First trip for both these teams to this gym since 2014, so none of these girls have had any experience playing here, and you can kind of tell with the way the free throws have been especially very either long or short, just trying to figure out the length because there is no wall right behind the hoops as there are in most high school gyms.
It's not like you get a walkthrough beforehand. You get about the 15 minutes to warm up, and that's it for you.
On the dribble is Casey Waterhouse. She'll hand it off and set a screen for Fogarty. That pass too high for Gilroy, and it'll go out of bounds. So that half-court offense that we were talking about worked so well for these teams has kind of let them both down here in the early going of this second half. And Bondurant-Farrar is going to call a timeout. Ben Anderson wants to talk it over. We'll take a break with him. Bondurant-Farrar by 1, 5:42 left, third quarter, right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
5:42 left in the third quarter. Bondurant-Farrar 21, Dallas Center Grimes 20. It will be DCG ball out of the timeout. I like the timeout by Ben Anderson, Jamie. Just the offense. They have gotten like maybe 1 or 2 shots up. They've turned it over a few different times already. DCG defensively even tightened up the screws even more than what we saw in the first half, and they were very good there too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I think, is trying to give them some tools to address DCG's defense, do something a little bit different on offense. And with how low-scoring the game is, every point really matters so much. And so just giving them a way to calm down, probably putting in a set play here for their next offensive possession.
Got to get a stop first. Here's a drive up and under through 3 defenders was Rice, but couldn't get it. And then the rebound and a foul as Protzman was there. And she'll go to the free throw line.
And she's been right there on so many offensive rebounds, finally able to secure one. And, of course, you know, she knows the position she's in. She knows that she's got the size advantage, so going back up there for the putback. And that's something that if DCG can have that going more consistently, that's going to be really, really tough to stop.
Mia Miller will come in replacing Waterhouse. That is an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. One more for Protzman. Go figure. Protzman has the lowest percentage of any of the players that have shot free throws for DCG, and she's the only one that's been able to make 2 out of 2.
Oh, her shots look good. I like it. I like to see a big girl able to shoot.
She's about 50% on the season and looked pretty strong there.
Good hands.
As she got her hand on that one, and now we got a foul underneath.
Yep.
They're going to get Bickford for leveraging underneath Lappy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're throwing a freshman in this defense on Lappy down near the paint, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, really tough position to be in.
Again, Lampy all over Miller, not letting her breathe at all. Gets it to Gilroy. Gilroy goes baseline on Rice, up, under, an impossible shot from the angle she had. And Minor gets the rebound, and she wants to push it herself. And now she's going to get picked up. She's going to go all the way herself and then draw a foul.
That was a really nice hesitation move there at the top of the key, because what we've seen so many times is, well, for both teams, but especially DCG, they're pushing the pace. They're driving the entire length of the court. They're never slowing down. They're just getting ahead of steam and going. And then you're either kind of throwing it off or, you know, maybe getting a charge. There, she took the extra second, saw what was open, saw where to go, and was able to get a really good angle at the hoop where she would have made the layup had she not been fouled.
Avery Coursing comes in for Vanessa Bickford. Minor's second foul shot, short again, misses them both. She's 1 for 4 at the line in the game. Foul, by the way, was on Fogarty. That was her first. Team's third here in the second half. Bondurant-Farrar yet to score here in the first 3:15 plus in this third quarter. Riley Gilroy, top of the key, Lappy. Here's Freed. She'll leave it over for Fogarty. Fogarty dribbles to the top, gets it to Miller. Here's Gilroy, NBA range 3, splash!
And that's it. They've been looking for her. She's been ready to shoot that shot, and all she needed was the opportunity.
Outside, DCG going to try to hustle it back, down by 2 now. And not paying attention on the cut. She was open, was Lampy, but just part of the motion offense. She just was kind of running the motion and not looking for the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, fully turned around, had the ball hit her in the back.
And she was open, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what you get stuck in when you keep running the same offense over and over again. It's just you kind of go through the motions and forget that you can look for the ball. Similar shot, but good closeout that time by Rice. Hits the bottom of the rim and then goes out of bounds.
Yeah, good closeout. Maybe even a little bit of a tip, but again, I really like the patience that Bondurant-Farrar had getting into their offense there. Very nearly saved the ball on an offensive rebound. And, I mean, of course, we know that Riley Gilroy is more than capable of making that shot. Really not a bad one at all.
Yeah, and it was maybe a foot closer than her last one. Just got to give credit to Julia Rice. on the closeout. Nice pass inside this time. Minor able to finish.
And there you don't have someone in front. You don't have that passing lane defense. And so as soon as she gets the ball that low, that's, a very dangerous shot.
Miller uses the behind the back, up, back under. Lappy thought about the three. She hit one earlier. Now she'll put it on the deck and give it to Freed. Freed, left-hand dribble, goes underneath. A lot of contact, no foul call. Minor gets the rebound after forcing a tough shot by Chesney Steenhook. Here's Minor. Leaves it. Lampy a three. Short. And Steenhook the rebound.
Great rebound. Good position and then just reached back. Long arm, secured the rebound, 2 hands.
Just a freshman, her as well. Another long, sizable freshman. Make waves for the next few years wearing this Bondurant Farrar uniform down low. And she's got it. Chesney Steenhook out of the top of the key. Here's Miller. Steps into a 3 left wing. On the way. That's well short. Caught in the air by Protzman.
And that's where, you're so open. You could maybe take even a foot in closer to the 3-point line there.
And she is a 30% three-point shooter about, so definitely a capable shooter. They tried to lob this one in, and I think Protzman was confused as to whether that was a shot or a pass.
Yeah, and much better defensive position there for Bondurant Farrar as well. Chesney Steenhook right in the passing lane.
Oh, wide open lane for Freed just to waltz right through. It was a screen. And a miscommunication on whether there was going to be a switch or not. Nobody was there. They've been going over the screen a lot more, and it just looked like right there. It was a great screen by Miller, of all people. Either way, an easy lay-in, and Bondurant Farrar retakes the lead. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Winner of this game plays second seed Ballard Thursday at 8. Class 4A quarterfinals.
And both teams would like a little bit of revenge on Ballard, I would say.
Here's a kick out. Here is Bickford. Tries to go a little pocket pass, but reading it all the way was Gilroy and knocks it out of bounds. We'll get substitutions in for both teams. For DCG, it'll be Finley Fitzgerald coming in for Protzman. Freed and Lappy will take a seat probably for the rest of this quarter. And they are replaced by Katie Fogarty and Casey Waterhouse. Inbound pass, catch and shoot. Just long that time by Korshing, and the rebound cleared again by Steenhook. Dangerous pass, though, on trying to find her point guard in Miller. And again, Korshing all over Miller.
Ooh, a lot of contact there. Miller handling it much better here, though.
Yeah, the first half she had some trouble with that, and early in this quarter, Steenhook just runs right over the defender underneath. That was Lampy again, forcing another turnover.
Imagine that. That's tough because you get in there, you turn. You've already got one person kind of off to your side. You've got one person in front of you. You don't expect to have the third directly behind you, but just a player control foul.
That is at least 5 turnovers she has forced herself.
Heck of a defender.
2 5-second calls, a couple of steals, and then that charge that she drew. 1:08 to go in this third quarter. Bondurant Farrar still leading by a pair. Here is Lampy, back to the top to Korshing. It looks like DCG will be patient here intentionally. Kick out. Fitzpatrick drives baseline. Nice pass underneath, and Lampy draws the foul as she snuck in behind. Gilroy had a crash down last second, out of position, committed the foul. And that's number 3.
And DCG's been really good about that, driving, and then someone is always filling to the weak side block, because if you've got the help coming over trying to help on the driver, chances are that there's going to be an open opportunity, and sometimes they've overpassed it a little bit. I think that on the last possession maybe would have had a layup had they not tried to pass it across the paint, but here obviously a really great pass and a nice finish to draw the foul there.
Lampy misses the first, will try another and makes it. Splits the free throws. Bondurant Farrar has the ball, leading by 1, and Lampy now back on ball with Korshing back to the bench. Miller presses, behind the back dribble, gives her a little bit of space. Now she's being closely guarded again, another behind the back dribble. She leaves it. Freed thought about it. On a switch, drives, triple team, just passes it. Steenhook does a good job coming to the basketball to prevent a steal.
Yeah, she really secures the ball well. Very impressive.
Here's Freed again, going with the left hand. Lobs it down. Nice pass. The finish can't be had, though. Steenhook can't get the follow. Good effort, though.
Yeah.
Quickly the other way is DCG, and now they realize there's only 18 seconds left, and they're better off just getting the last shot here in the third quarter. Here is Bickford. She wants a screen. She's been asking for it. Nobody came and got her one. Good underneath look, though. Lampy set the back screen off the ball, got Minor open, And Bondurant Farrar is not going to get a shot to answer, although the shot was made from half court by Mia Miller. Okay.
Oh, that hurts a little bit. Lost the ball, almost had the shot off, and ended up having it too late.
Excellent job on the last possession by DCG, and just a little too late for Miller, who nails a half quarter. Instead, it's going to be DCG by 1, 27-26 after 3. Fourth quarter coming up right after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my face.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
I got it.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Hey fans, a reminder, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply at central.edu. Bondurant Farrar with the basketball to start us here in the fourth quarter. Here is Lappy. She's going to drive, have it poked away from behind by Corshing. She's able to regather, kicks it back out. Here's Miller. She tries to get it back down to Lappy. One-on-one, left-hand layup, just a little bit wide of the mark. Rebound loose and eventually taken by DCG. It is now Finley Fitzgerald. She'll slow it down. Did not have numbers. Backs it out. Corshing gets right around Lappy, drives, tough shot, and she banks it in with a lot of contact.
Well, and really smart to pull up where she did, because she knew that if she got in there too low, she wasn't going to be able to draw the foul. It was going to be blocked.
Miller trying to get up the floor again, working on Lampy, who's just been everywhere defensively, and there's a little hand check foul on Fitzpatrick. Now, see, I have a hard time understanding how that was a whistle, considering how handsy both Corshing and Lampy have been to Miller going up the floor.
It's certainly interesting, and I mean, part of it is that it's extremely easy to call when it's the literal hand that's checking them. It's mostly been body contact there on Lampy, but man, has it been a lot of it.
If I'm feeling Fitzpatrick, I'm like, how is that a foul?
Right.
Anyways, either way, doesn't matter. DCG gets the ball back on a steal. Here is Rice. Julia Rice leaves it up for Bickford. Bickford, very nice young player here, just a freshman. Looking at a zone look defense here from Bondurant Farrar. Vanessa Bickford swings it to Rice. Over to the left wing. This is Elle Nelson. Nelson in the game for the first time. She's got it. Back to the top. Swung over to Corshing. She's just going to fire a right corner three. No good. Over the back, foul called on Protzman.
And there again, you see that Bondurant Farrar, they know that they have to be in good position, because if it comes down to just jumping contest, they ain't going to be the one winning. So really great position there by Katie Fogarty, I believe.
After the foul, it's just the first on Protzman, by the way. 5-second count is on. It'll be a pass from Miller. They did set a screen in the backcourt that time to try to free Miller up a little bit. Here's Lappy. Gives it up. Casey Waterman hands it off. Mia Miller again, and she'll settle it back down up top. 6 minutes left. Bondurant Farrar down 3 as these teams have gone back and forth most of this game. Fogarty over to the right corner. Swung back to the top. Freed catch and shoot 3. Too strong. And the rebound by Corshing. And they're going to call a foul. I think Miller got a little bit of head contact with the arm, but she just got there, I think, a hair too late, and that's why she got called for the foul, and she came up defensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tough position to be in, because when you're running, you gesture, you move your arms a little bit, so it's nothing malicious, but to be caught there, that's both painful and unfortunate.
And then you get called for the foul on top
of
of that.
Of course, that insult to injury.
Third foul for Miller, by the way. 6th team foul, Bondurant Farrar. That means DCG will be on the line moving forward here with 5.5 to go. They have a 3-point lead. Here is Korschman. Nearly lost the handle, got it back, got it out to Protzman. Here is Bickford. Nice little give and go. Good job by Protzman figuring out where the slot was and slashed right to the hole. Good pass by Bickford. For DCG, this is as big a lead as they've had in this game. Here in the corner, Gilroy, right corner three, splash! Timeout, Bondurant Farrar, a 30-second timeout. But that's exactly what you talked about, just having an extra dimension with her on the floor, and that's a huge shot.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really big shot, and she's just so prepared at any point in time to take that shot. And especially when you're passing it in down low to Caitlin Lamp, you know that the focus is going to be on her. You don't want her to make that layup. Well, all of a sudden, you kind of suck the defense into her, and it leaves you that extra second or two to get a really good open look and, of course, knock it down.
A reminder what's at stake. Obviously, if you lose this game, you can't win a state title, which is the ultimate goal. But Ballard won in the game prior to this one, and it was a low-scoring affair. Ballard really slowed the pace of that game down. So this pace has not been slow.
No.
It's just been low-scoring because the defense has been so strong, and neither team has been able to shoot the ball very well. 38% for DCG. Bondurant Farrar shooting just 39%, and they haven't made a free throw yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's been just an incredible defensive effort, and usually that's code for poor offense, but here it really has been good defense.
There's a little screen roll opportunity, but Bondurant Farrar was ready for it. Going baseline is Minor, goes around Lappy, but has her shot deflected, and Lappy then gets the rebound.
Great contest there and great backside help.
Here's Miller, gets past Lampy for now, goes to Gilroy. She's going to drive, go off glass, too strong. Bickford. Look at that strong rebound among the trees down there for the freshman.
And keeping her balance to not travel either.
You can see the tools she has. She's going to reject the screen, go right past Freed, drive in. No foul called, but on the rebound, Lampy is there.
And that's tough because you're there, you have the really good contest, but it takes you out of position for the rebound.
4-point lead for DCG. Here's Lampy. She'll take a long two. That one was short. Freed going to get called for going over the back of Bickford. Now Lappy, although this isn't her game, did hit a three earlier in the first half. This one was a long two. As you see the replay here, Bickford. Yeah, Drew, when you draw that extra defender, you're going to make a little bit of an adjustment by the defense, and Lampy had nobody there to contest the offensive board. And Bickford to the line. Missed her first two attempts in the first half poorly. And, of course, makes this one. Good players make adjustments in the middle of a game, and this young freshman showing exactly that. This one is short. Rebound tipped, loose. There's going to be a foul. Position belonged to Chesney Steenhook.
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same thing that happened on the other end. Just can't go through someone going for a rebound. If I think that if Steenhook would have secured the rebound, they might have just let it go. But when she ends up on the floor and then the ball's going to DCG, you got to call it.
Minor with her second foul there, 15th foul, so Bondurant Farrar not far away from shooting free throws on their own. Lappy with it, high post. Goes to Steenhook at the top. Finds Miller, running around a couple of screens. Now picked up. Gilroy back to Miller. Miller switched out with Minor now. She wants to take Minor off the dribble. She does. Pulls up from 10. Can't get the roll. Rebound pulled down by Protzman.
It's a good idea there. Just can't get the ball to drop. But when you get those switches, you got to be able to take advantage.
Adam Jones going to call a timeout. And it will be a full timeout, so we'll take it with him. 3:35 to go. This game's still very much in the balance. DCG with the ball, leading by 5 right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
3.5 to go, just over 3.5 to go. Dallas Center Grimes a 34-29 lead over Bondurant Farrar. DCG is the 3 seed. Bondurant Farrar is the 6 seed. Winner gets the 2 seed Ballard Thursday at 8 in the 4A semis. You're in one of these huddles, Jamie. What are you saying to your team? Let's say Bondurant-Farrar, you're down by 5. You need stops. You need to find a way to put the ball in the hole.
Well, I mean, for Bondurant-Farrar, you have to remember the kind of defense that you were able to play the rest of the game. DCG's been scoring pretty consistently here, but really all it takes is one possession to really turn the game around here. So they've been able to kind of ratchet up the pressure on defense. What you really have to do is continue to pressure the guards and not allow them to get the ball inside to the post, because that's really where the huge advantage lies.
Here's Bickford out of the timeout. DCG still has 4 of their timeouts remaining. Bondurant-Farrar just 2. Back to the top is Bickford.
You got to be able to pressure, too, because you don't want them to run off a minute and a half on the clock.
And they've showed, even when they're not intentionally trying to slow the pace, they are patient in the offensive set and waiting for somebody to pop open.
Exactly.
Here's Minor. Gets it over to Rice. Rice dribbles, pulls it back, now surveys. Pulls it back again.
And really good defense on the cutting players there. Oh,
Gilroy, nice intercept, going all the way. Stops,
wow.
Finds Steenhoek. She's fouled. Now, she lost her footing again. That's the second time in the first half in about that same spot. She got called for a block when her foot slipped as she was trying to get set for a charge. That time, instead of trying to get a layup, again, the foot slips out from underneath her, but she wisely found Steenhoek, and she goes to the line for 2. First one up, in and out.
Well, I just love Riley Gilroy's effort there, because not only was she ready to get through passing lanes because she knew they had to cut this possession off as soon as possible and was able to secure it, but then didn't force a layup to get blocked. She knows she's a small player. She's able to gather, not travel, and get it to someone who ends up at least converting one of the free throws.
34-30, Steenhoek does indeed make the second. Here's Bickford over to Minor. See how aggressive Bondurant-Farrar gets here, down by 4. Here's Minor, probes, now pulls it back. Back to the top, Julia Rice. Over to Lampy. Lampy guarded closely, and then a two-hand check foul, and that'll be a 1-and-1. And I mean,
she has a hand on her. She's driving. The second that you put the second hand on the hip, I mean, they're just going to call it.
And that's that visually. You almost don't miss those because visually you see both hands.
Well, they blow the whistle the absolute second that the second hand makes contact. And it's hard because you compare that to, well, all the body contact, why is it different? Well, I mean, it just is.
Visually it is.
You can control the direction more with your hands than you can with the body.
First free throw good from Lampy, trying to make the second half with the 1-and-1. She does. I was going to say that foul isn't awful considering that you wanted to kind of get into free throws, but that was the 4th foul on Mia Miller, so now she is in. She can't get another one. She's going to have to be really careful out there, and she is the initiator of their offense. She's got it right now, kind of stumbles her footing, gets it over to Lappy, and then over to Fogarty, who gets it back to Miller. You feel like they got to go with a little pace here considering they're down by 6. Baseline drive. And Freed has it knocked out of her hand. Minor comes out of there with it.
I mean, and just a bad angle. There's so many people down low. If you pass it out to the corner, it's open.
Protzman wide open, but can't make the layup and rebound. That was a lucky break that time for the Blue Jays. And here comes Miller. Lobs it down for Lappy. Rejected from behind by Protzman. She did not know she was there.
No.
Bickford working on Gilroy. Gilroy just trying to stay in front of her, and she'll get called for a blocking foul.
And a lot of clear frustration here for Bondurant-Farrar, and you really understand it because they're just not sure what's being called and what's not, and it's really tough to make those adjustments on the fly because it has been a game that has a lot of contact going with it, but at the same time it's just wasted energy to try and complain and try to wonder why. Just try to make your adjustments and keep playing. And they have their heads up. It's not like they're out there doing anything blatant.
It's been rough offensively for them
it's just a frustrating situation to be in.
1 for 2 at the line for Bickford. 37-30. It is a 3-possession game for the first time in the game for either side. With 1:20 to go, Bondurant-Farrar in desperate need of a bucket. Screen by Lappy, tries to free up Miller. Here's Gilroy. Lobs it back to the top. Freed thought about the 3, instead goes to Fogarty. Fogarty step back 3, a tough shot. Lands right into the lap of Avery Korshing. Korshing gets loose and into the front court, and you figure And before a foul can even be had, Adam Jones says, we got 4 timeouts. Might as well use one here.
Yeah, and I mean, not really another choice. You had to try and get a shot up.
And it will be a full timeout, so we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the final 63 seconds of regulation. DCG leading by 7 with the basketball. Coming back on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
37-30, Dallas Center Grimes with the lead and the ball with 1:03 to go. And it's just been, especially in the second half, only 9 points in the second half so far for the Blue Jays. They had a small lead at various points, Jamie, but 32% from the floor, and they've really struggled finding open looks, especially here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been kind of a slog for them to try and get points, and really you can attribute it directly to DCG's defense. They've been absolutely suffocating.
Fogarty tried to grab the jersey, make sure the foul was called. It will be a double bonus situation now for DCG, as Protzman will come in between free throws. It'll be Korshing to the line. Korshing tucks the jersey in. Front end of these free throws is good. Let's go ahead and give you our Casey's player of the game, and we're going to go with Dallas Center Grimes. Ella Lampe. How about Ella Lampe and her effort, especially defensively, Jamie?
I mean, a really terrific defensive player, a player that usually is averaging just over 4 points a game, is able to give those 9 points when her team really needed it. And then, of course, her defensive effort is worth even more than those points as well. So many turnovers forced. Some steals, obviously a great floor general, making really great passes for her teammates. Just an all-around complete player.
Yeah, number 34 for Dallas Center Grimes, Ella Lampe. And that's going to be it for Gilroy. Her 5th foul. She'll have to come out after the missed free throw and an offensive rebound by Emma Miner. Gave it right back to DCG, and now free throws for Lexi Protzman. Protzman's first is good. You know what that's like as a senior, Jamie, walking off the floor for the last time and you see your season slipping away.
Yeah.
You feel for the girls, especially on a night where they just could not get the offense going.
Yeah. I mean, did so many things right, did so many things right. And when the ball just doesn't fall, when you just can't get over the hump there, it's heartbreaking. And I mean, it's the way of the game. There's always going to be a winner and a loser, but just incredible effort, really, for the entire game. Never gave up.
Lampe gets the rebound, is fouled after the 3 is missed. 40-30. And you held Dallas Center Grimes before all these fouls. You were holding them. They were on pace to finish with less than 40 points. And if you look at their scores, I mean, they scored 52 and 50 in the regional tournament, but they have routinely gotten into the 60s and the 70s this season. And defensively, you played a really good game. You just could not solve their defense.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that you have to look at the fact that Dallas Center Grimes does have a deeper bench. They have more people they can rely on. They can push that pace and play that really high-octane, intense defense and not worry quite as much about fatigue. And unfortunately for Bondurant Farrar, it looks like the fatigue did get a little bit to them there at the end.
Outside, Waterhouse tries a 3. This one back the iron. Lampe with it, has it poked away. Still loose. You see how hard Bondurant Farrar is still battling. Miller fires a 3. That one off the mark. Rebound, Miner, my mistake, and there's the foul. By the way, Ella Lampe made that free throw, got her into double figure scoring on the night. And Casey's is proud to sponsor today's player of the game and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Ella Lampe, our Casey's player of the game. As Miner makes the free throw. Coming out is Bickford. Into the game for the first time is Kylie Miracle. She is a senior. Just her second appearance this season as Minor makes the free throw. 13 seconds left as DCG ties a bow on it. Waterhouse, wide on the three. Freed, able to get the rebound and lay it in. And that'll be it. Dallas Center Grimes, 43. Bondurant Farrar, 32. As the Mustangs celebrate on center court, the 3 seed will line up against Ballard, the number 2 seed. And that will take place 8 p.m. this Thursday. Let's go ahead, before we give you the final thoughts and statistics, and take it on back down to Joe Hammond, RPA announcer.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gary Ross and Gene Berger. Congratulations to head coach Ben Anderson and the Blue Jays from Bondurant Farrar on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Kylie Miracle of Dallas Center Grimes will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Dallas Center Grimes fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play Ballard on Thursday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
All right, so your final 43-32. DCG gets the win and moves into the semifinals. They just kind of wore them down eventually, and defensively, an impeccable 32 minutes of basketball by Dallas Center Grimes.
Yeah, I mean, withstood some really strong runs by Bondurant Farrar. Really, I mean, an incredible game. At any point, it looked like maybe one or the other was poised to run away with it, but always were there to fire back. And I mean, it's just tough because when you've got a team like Dallas Center Grimes, when they've got the kind of players, the kind of height, obviously, and then, of course, the depth that they have on their bench, really impressive fight by Bondurant Farrar to stay in that game and really give them all they could handle.
Yeah, you would like to it's a different game if a couple of the shots go down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just small things, one way or the other, when it's such a low-scoring game. And, of course, it was a significantly closer game than the score would indicate, given the fouling there at the end. But it's really tough when you struggle to get shots to fall. But at times, both teams did. So Dallas Center Grimes was just able to make the adjustments they needed to in the end.
Dallas Center Grimes will play Thursday at 8 p.m. against Ballard. We sat here and watched that game before we went on. Ballard, I only scored 37 points, but a lot of that had to do with they got a 7-ish point lead, 3 possessions in the second half, and you could tell they just kind of ground the game to a halt, had no problem kind of stretching the game out, playing 90-second long possessions. Now, Dallas Center Grimes had longer possessions in this game. It seemed like they were trying to just go through their offense and find an open look at those junctures. How do you like the way that those two teams tend to match up?
Well, you know what? I do not think that Ballard is going to have as much of the option to slow things down against Dallas Center Grimes. Because you see the way that Ella Lampy and, of course, the rest of the Mustangs play defense. They're not going to just sit there and let them pound the ball into the ground for a minute and a half. They're going to get up in your grill, and they might foul once in a while, but they're going to get some turnovers. They're going to get some steals, and I think it's going to make Ballard a little bit uncomfortable. Ballard absolutely capable of dealing with that and recovering, but I think that the face of the game is going to be extremely different between these two teams.
Avery Korshing and Ella Lampy on the ball. You're not going to have the opportunity to stand 30 feet away and just hold the ball. They just won't let you, and They did a great job of kind of taking Mia Miller out of the game, and she is the initiator for the Bondurant Farrar offense, and was really, she had to spend all of her energy just trying to get the ball up the court tonight, and you could see how that impacted the Bondurant Farrar defense. So, Jamie, it's been fun working with you today. I don't know if I see you tomorrow, but
tomorrow, yep, tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon. All right. Well, Sign me up. We're going to have more. Of course, more action here as now we're through the Class 4A bracket, and your winners include number 1 seed Glenwood, the 5 seed North Scott, who is the 2-time defending state champions. Glenwood, really good team, but North Scott's probably the one team you don't want to play up here at this building.
Regardless of seeding, they are a little bit scary.
Yeah, they just know how to win up here at Wells Fargo Arena. Ballard, 22-1 now on the season, and they'll take on Dallas Center Grimes. Those 2 games on Thursday at 6 and at 8. Still got the Class 2A and 1A quarterfinals to pound through here today and tomorrow, but exciting stuff here at Wells Fargo Arena. So for my color analyst, Jamie Steyer, our producer, Devin Taylor, my name's Emery Songer. Thanks for joining us up here in Des Moines, and thanks for watching our live coverage of the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.